we're doing the
Good
intro.
afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the CroneZone Conversations with the Ancients. My name's Priscilla, and this is my friend Heather, and we're the
Hi.
Crones. And today we have a special guest, SunPsychic Jean, a fellow Crone. Of course, we've
Hi,
got 20
everybody.
years
Thanks
on
for
her, but
having me, Heather and Priscilla. It's so much fun to be together with you girls, with you ladies.
we love to be with you as well. Let's see. How are you today, Miss Jean?
I'm doing very, very well. I have my Christmas tree. It's a fiber optic Christmas tree back here for the season.
I love fiber optic Christmas trees. They're so easy.
It is vintage, so it has
Oh, no.
lasted many, many years.
Oh, that's wonderful. We actually got our tree up this week too.
Hmm.
A friend came over and we did yoga, and we got out all the decorations. And she helped us put up the tree and get
Wow.
it decorated. We have one of those pencil trees that's like 8 feet
That's big.
tall, and about this big around. Because
No, we don't have much room.
we have a very tiny space, maybe 3 by 3 to put it. So and it has
Wow.
to be skinny, but it's beautiful.
Houses in Key West are either enormous mansions or the average house is very small.
Little conch house. Our house is
Hmm.
like 1,000 square feet.
Wow.
From
So
2,600 is I came from 2,600 square feet. So it's
Wow.
cultural shock.
you get rid of things.
Yeah, especially that you don't need.
You learn to get rid of things you don't need. Hi
Yeah.
Samantha. Hi Linda. How's everybody today in the chat? Welcome. So glad you guys could be here. We're going to talk about different psychic experiences, and because Jean's our guest, I'm going to let her lead off with the chat,
Something.
with whatever
Yeah,
she'd like to
absolutely.
share, because we're coming from a few different places on our psychic and spiritual experiences that changed our lives in different ways, right?
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
everybody's an individual, so everything is just a little different.
Absolutely. Hi
Hmm.
Jan's free. How are you today? I'm going to have to put it on my computer, on my hand.
Yeah, you
I
can't read
can't read
those.
those.
Yeah, I
I,
was looking at it going, oh, I forgot my iPad. I always watch it on the iPad, but
I
Oops.
think Jan's Free has a very good question there. I think it's something to be. She says, when is it politically correct to start putting out Christmas decorations? She has an argument with her friend. I say after Thanksgiving, the friend says it's okay before.
I love that. I'm the day after Thanksgiving. That's when it starts for me. That's my tradition.
except when you live down here, they have a train that goes through all the decorations, which started a couple nights ago. And if you have a lot of stuff to put up, that's a lot of work. So a lot of people start before then
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do
I
down here.
think
so that
after
they can be seen
Halloween,
by the trains
after
that goes through at
Halloween,
night.
because you never know when it's going to get cold. You get those lights up.
Mhm.
Hmm.
For Halloween. No, that is way too early.
Well, you have
That's
to expect.
sacrilegious if it's before Thanksgiving.
I can see after Halloween in the stores. Now, what bothers me just a little bit is when they put them up. The stores have all this Christmas stuff, and here's all the Halloween. Both at the same time. I'm going.
Yeah,
That's a little
exactly.
early.
Well, in my youth, I did work in retail, and it was really hard trying to pack in all. They used to send us Christmas stuff in July, and then we'd have to store it and try and get it all out in one weekend. So
Oh, and
that's why
that's
Hmm.
they
just
do that.
impossible.
And that's basically what the town is trying to do. There's Thanksgiving, and the next week starts the train. That comes through at night for all the lights.
Wow.
The little trains that you can get, trolley cars and stuff like that in major
And they
cities.
they bring tourists
They bring the tourists, and I
and
tried to get a ticket
we can't.
for Halloween, because they do it at Halloween too. We couldn't get a ticket. I mean, as soon as it came out on Facebook, I went and called for tickets.
They were
They were
on.
sold out.
So it's the train. The train, I'm sure, is sold out.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. But it's fun.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. It sounds like a lot of fun. Big, big party town. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Wow. I would imagine you ladies would have like a palm tree that had lights on it. I see sometimes they have Christmas cards that have palm trees with
There
lights
are
on it.
some around, but
I
ours
think it
isn't.
would be really hard to do. And palm tree leaves, they're very sharp
Hmm?
and
But there are a lot
scrawny,
of people
and
that decorate the trunk,
the trunk,
not
but not the
necessarily the
lights.
top.
Yeah, not the top. It's
Besides, they're very, very tall. You need a fire truck or something like that to get up there.
Well,
yeah,
like I said, I've seen it in pictures, so
Yeah. And when that happens, it's usually the city doing it, not a
yeah,
single
where they have
person.
those people they can put up in a ladder. It works really
They do
well.
it during the day or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the city.
How do you decorate for Christmas? When do you start, Jean?
that's it.
That's it.
It's my husband and I, and we have something. I like to use a different tablecloth for the holiday to put the theme out. We have a poinsettia, and we have a rosemary tree that I
Oh,
absolutely
pretty.
love the energy of the live plant on the table. And oh, what did she do? Aw. That's the extent of it, that's about right.
There was one year that our tree was way too big for the house. And it was the year that COVID came out. And our COVID tree was a green tree with lights and toilet paper for the garland and masks, all different colors and everything because they were all designed and masks hanging on it. Those were the
They were
ornaments.
Christmas masks, most of
Yeah,
them.
most of them were Christmas masks.
That must have
And
been
that came down. Then we found something in January to do. Then we did Valentine's. So we put Valentine's all over it and red lights and things like that.
We decorated that tree through
every month
through
through
Easter that year.
Yeah.
We're talking Christmas 2020, so it would have been the first of 2021.
Yeah, we decorated until we ran out of holidays. That it was going to take 2 months for the next holiday. Now we'll take the tree down.
Yeah.
And that
From
was it.
Easter, we decided 4th of July was just too far
Far
away.
away.
It was time to take the tree down. Can you imagine having a Christmas tree up? 5
that
months.
my
Decorated
mom would
every
do
month.
it. My mom would do it. She absolutely loves Christmas and having the lights and the tree up. And because my niece goes over and helps her put her tree up, that it's when my niece has a free weekend to come over, and so it's usually right before Thanksgiving. But my mom loves it. She goes, "Oh no!" And then when we want to take it down, she's like, "No, no, no! I want it." January, February's coming. No, no, no! Don't take it down. She really loves it.
Well, we did redecorate according to season.
Right. According to the holidays we were coming into, we did redecorate it. And of course, everybody was stuck in the house
Yeah.
because of COVID. And we had just one or two people that we knew stayed in the house all the time too. And they came over for
Our pod.
our pod about Sunday dinner. And so they got a kick out of it too. And they helped. So, but it's St. Patrick's
it actually
Day
cheered
and
us up. It was
we
a
did have
laugh
St. Pat-
for
yeah.
5 months in a
Uh-huh.
pretty dreary time in this country. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? We laughed and giggled about it.
Yeah.
But my favorite was the Christmas tree part with the toilet paper as garland and the mass. 'Cause that's all it was.
We didn't get any ornaments out. Those were the ornaments. It was
Wow.
cute.
Wow.
If I had my thing, if I thought about it, I'd have got a picture of it. Now we have a picture
Oh,
of
yeah.
it, but I would have had to find it.
Anyway, we digress.
Yes.
Down another rabbit hole.
That was fun. That was fun. Thanks for bringing that up,
You guys
Jansfree.
want to ask questions?
That was really fun. Really fun. Yeah. It's when I was younger, I had Christmas decorations all over the house and outside and things. But as we got older and the kids don't come and visit on Christmas, it's they come at different times of the year. It's just my husband and I, so we don't really do very much. Other than this and a couple things, just a little bit.
We do it because I think because of the train.
Part
It's
of
almost
the
like you've got to
train,
do it to entertain the people out there.
and part of it's because we just plain enjoy it.
Yeah, and we do enjoy it.
And
Mind you,
we enjoy the results.
we have fairy lights on our house railing 24/7.
Different colored, and they're pastel colors, so no, they're not the bright
They're
colors.
pastel fairy lights.
So they're
and
really pretty.
They're on 24/7. So
Yeah.
You can see us coming down the street.
Wow.
I
Beautiful.
love it.
Yeah.
Who else
it's
does
perfect.
that?
Everybody else loves it too. They'll stop and they'll just. I said, it's the house with all the lights. Okay.
I
Oh, that's
saw
what you meant.
I saw an 18-wheeler the other day going to work, and they had that really shiny garland, the red and the green garland that kind of
Mhm.
twinkles and sparkles, but it's
Mhm.
just the garland. It's just like that. It's sort of like a foil, but it's garland. And he had it wrapped around his rear view mirrors and around his front grill on his truck, but you could see it. And when he was driving, it would like blow in the wind. It was really, really cute.
I love that. Yeah, we
Yeah.
usually put a wreath on the front of our car and Toodles, our golf cart.
I didn't ask my son. He would do something like that. I'll have to see if he did. 'Cause his
That's
I'm
old
with you,
truck.
Jan's free.
What?
aw,
Absolutely.
We're like that too, I'm afraid. Or not.
Yep. We are.
very nice, very nice. Yeah. It's a fun, festive time of year, and me being the sun psychic, the I often look forward to December 20th, and people are like, "What? You mean the 25th?" I'm like, "No, the 20th, because that's the shortest day." And then the very next day, the days start getting longer, and I know that once I reach that point, I'll be fine. Like it's sort of like the energies just start building again for me.
Right. Oh, I
Mhm.
love that. So
Yeah.
it's a very fitting name for you, isn't it?
That is why I chose it, because I'm very yeah, the
Sun
June
oriented.
20th is my favorite day of the year. It's the longest day of the year,
Mhm.
and I really am so much more vibrant, and I function so much better. And I love that it's like 9 o'clock at night and it's still daylight out. I just love
Mhm.
it. I
Yeah.
always
When I lived in England, it was 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and it was light outside. I had to buy blackout curtains.
wow.
But I miss the sun so much in the wintertime. I would used to go to the tanning salon and lay on a tanning bed just, like once a month or something, just to get that light, because it definitely, I felt deprived
Yeah.
because the sun set at 3 o'clock. It was like
Wow.
dark by 4.
Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah,
know that about
they're
that.
that
I
high.
okay.
They're that far north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I think yeah, and the equinoxes also affect me as well. Sort of, I feel a sense of a balance, and I often look to, because everybody where you are there, it comes down to the minute. Like if you're, where you are, where you fall in the US, the sun
Mhm,
is up or down. And the equinox I found in my area, it doesn't actually fall on the equinox. It falls like maybe 12 hours later, or something. And I
Mhm.
didn't know this. And I kind of thought something seems really, balanced, or I feel something different. I feel something different. And I
that's
found
interesting.
out that
Wow, that's amazing. I'd
I
never
know.
noticed that.
Well, they can't change it
Name
for
new.
they have a calendar for, everybody. They can't change it where you live, it's a
Exactly.
little bit different.
Well, it is, but I don't know where it starts. Does it start at Greenwich Mean Time? Then we would be 6 hours later.
Right? That's true. That's
I don't
true.
know.
But and
Where it
that's
is in the
true.
sky is what matters, though, right?
Well,
Not the
I
time
think
of day.
it's when it's exactly 12 hours of sunlight where I am in this area of
That
the
makes
US.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not on a
very-
clock somewhere.
right.
It's your
Right.
body. It's your body clock.
Exactly,
Interesting.
exactly. But so what do you say? What do you say we get to some stories? Are you ready?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get to some stories. Let our guests begin.
Well, I would just like to start with an angel story, and I'm sure that there's a lot of you here in the chat that have encounters with angels as well. And I'm just going to shorten up the story a little bit. We have a lot for you today. And
Exactly. But before you start, can you actually type in the all cap thing? Ask people to, can you do a banner?
sure.
I don't know if you can.
Yep.
Okay. Or
Oh,
maybe I already
oh,
have it made.
Yeah,
I
you
s-
do.
Where is it?
The one above
Okay,
that
I've
one.
got it. Don't worry about it. Got it. Doo-doo.
That was easy.
I love it.
very nice. Good job. And look, see, there's a palm tree and a flamingo and a dolphin.
And,
Wow.
Yep.
and coral. You kind of have to look for those little islandy things.
Aw, very nice. Very nice. Okay. So, just a quick angel story just to get started. I was with my girlfriend in Philadelphia, and we were downtown on Broad Street. And this Broad Street has like three lanes going one way, a median in the center of the road, and three lanes going the other way. It's the big giant street going right down the center of Philadelphia. And we were driving along and we saw this homeless person, I'll say a politically correct term, on the median. And he appeared to be drunk or disheveled or, kind of like not aware. And he was like kind of walking really funny. And I thought he was going to, get hurt. And he stepped out into the street right in front of us. So I had to, slow down and stop. And he was like sort of walking. And I'm like, come on, guy, get out of our way, get out of our way. You're going to get hurt. You're going to, I was worried that somebody was going to come up behind me. So finally, the guy, walked over to the sidewalk area in a drunken stupor. It appeared to be, and so we just started to accelerate towards the green light. There was a green light in front of us, so I was heading towards the green light, and all of a sudden, from the other direction, a car went through the red light right in front of us.
Chills. Oh, big chills.
And
Eek.
if we hadn't stopped for that angel, is what I call him now, we would have been in the middle of the intersection and would have been hit. So we both looked at each other and we both turned around to see where the guy went, and he wasn't
Wow.
there. He wasn't on the sidewalk.
He was an angel.
We both knew. It was like, oh my gosh, I've never had such a certain feeling before.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah. So Warrior Girl's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, so
That's
that was
amazing. I had a similar traffic situation like that. I was coming home from work one day from Dallas, and it was in the Fort Worth Mixmaster, and it was like 5 lanes of chaos. And I saw this 18-wheeler coming at me, and I knew I was dead. Just knew I was dead. And the next thing I knew, I was on the other side of the road. Everything was just fine. No wreck, no nothing. I was just from point A to point B like that with no memory of it. Guardian angel. Somebody took control of that car and moved it over. And I was in a little tiny Toyota MR2. It
wow.
was itty bitty. I have no idea how I got from A to B.
Wow. Wow.
And I mean, it
Yeah.
was
That,
traffic everywhere. It was just like, I knew I was done. I just, okay. And that was the last thing I remembered.
um, there's a term, I don't know if the term, what's coming to mind is bifurcation. I'm not sure if that's what that means, if that, where you
I think you're
leave
right.
one place and appear at another place. But yeah, this is what can happen. These are part of the miracles that we experience. That's amazing. Thank God, right? But
Amen. Yeah.
can
And I was not even shaken when I realized I was on the other side. I was just driving like normally.
wow,
I wasn't even freaking out. I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
wow, that's
And
amazing.
I know there were times when I would go to work that I would, and I'm a very punctual person. and more so than that because I'm
Absolutely.
usually ahead of time. And there would be a few mornings that it would just like take forever to get out of the house. I could not move, so I was running late. But then as I was driving to work, there'd be an accident and I would realize it had just happened. And if I'd been on time, I'd have been with that group of cars.
Yeah, she had a hellish drive to work.
Yeah. So
Very dangerous drive.
basically, I know that they were slowing me down so I could do that. But as far as Angel goes, I think there's only one that I really know of. And and I went to the grocery store for my mom on the way home from the stables, and he started talking to me at the door, in high school. And we just started striking up a conversation. We finally went to his car to finish the conversation so we didn't have to stand so long, which later my mom was appalled about. But I knew whoever it was safe. And I really enjoyed the conversation. And it was a deep conversation, but I don't remember what it was. It's a long time ago. And then I remember getting out and going in the car and going home and telling my mom about it. But the more I think about it, I think it was a guardian angel or somebody like that who just wanted to help me clarify some things in my head through conversation. I have never seen him since, or anybody even close to what he was like. And I've never
Nor
had
would
the
you
feeling.
walk off with a stranger like
Right,
that either.
No, I would not. Not on the East Coast. You don't.
Mm-mm.
You just plain don't. But there was never any fear with going with him, and I knew nothing was going to happen. We were just going to talk, and that's all we did. And I just think he must have been either a guardian angel or somebody like that who was helping me get things straight in my head.
I think you're absolutely right.
So
Hey, you guys
That's
in the
amazing.
chat room, if you have similar stories, let us know. Type in something. Let us know.
Have you had experiences with angels on Earth? It's
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah, you can just say
amazing.
yes if you want.
Yeah, just say yes, you have, or no, I haven't, or whatever you want.
We'll put up as many as we can.
Absolutely.
And I think the angelic realm also uses us as, sometimes you come out with things and you're like, wow, where did that come from? Well, me, I
Yeah.
can, but, and it's sort of like what that person needed to hear most. It's almost like they're using us as a surrogate angel. The angelic realm will come
It's
and
actually not that you're a surrogate angel. It's because you're an angel hybrid.
Or
oh,
even
okay.
That's what it is. You're an angel hybrid. We're angel hybrids. We know that came. Okay, this is going to sound crazy. We know we came from the 12th dimension into the 6th dimension to become to the Pleiades. We came out of the angelic realm from 12th to 8th to 6th so that we could incarnate on Earth as angel hybrids to bring unconditional love to the planet for healing.
Wow.
And that's your job too.
Wow. I believe
But
you.
And her job.
as far as what you were saying, sometimes you say something and it was just what they needed to hear. I think part of that, you're right. It's what we hear, we said it. But they would never have heard it if we did not actually voice it 3D for them.
Exactly.
Right.
We have to be the voice of 3D.
Right. So that's where they're using us as intermediaries.
Yeah.
And there's a
To
lot
me.
of angel hybrids on the planet right now
Oh, yeah.
because it is a time of ascension. And the troops were needed.
And I would be surprised if most of you out there were not hybrids.
Yeah.
Part of the light force, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's beautiful to know. And we always knew that there was something special about the both of you. And now we know. Now we know the history behind it. That's a whole.
That's what I've channeled, and it was basically verified from Robert Brunges.
Wow.
And you actually.
Wow.
You didn't know it.
You didn't
just
know
did.
it. He didn't know it, but
Yeah,
you both
the way you
verified
said things, you didn't. You probably saw it as something else, but we knew what you were saying.
it. Mhm.
It's just perception. That's all it
Wow.
is.
Yeah, and a lot of times when I'm doing readings, I don't recall everything about it.
Oh,
I
I don't
just,
either.
Oh no, she never recalled when she was channeling, and I don't know whether you just got tired or she got to where she didn't even read it the next day.
I
And
don't
so there
know.
was a
It's
lot of
kind of
stuff.
like, you don't want to go back and watch your old videos. You're kind of like, ugh.
yeah.
It was that kind of feeling. But lately, she's encouraged me to go back and
I said, "You
read.
need to read this."
And
Well, tell me what's important.
I
No,
think-
you need to read it.
no, I sat down and started reading them, and she was absolutely right. What a moron for not going back and reading them earlier. You know, because I had forgotten 90% of the information, and it's all relevant.
Yes,
Wow.
and it's not just relevant. It's verifying everything that we've seen to
Mhm.
what they have said.
Wow.
Yeah. And maybe that's why I didn't go back and read it, because I needed these other things to happen before I went, holy moly, they match. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
Who knows? Sometimes you need
The
that
space.
break. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So I don't
See
know.
it from hindsight.
Well, maybe you can do a show on it and yeah, well, maybe this show. But I see
No.
Warrior
Yeah,
Girl has
that is
a
the
comment there.
what was
May
it?
I pop it
Yeah.
up there for us?
Go ahead.
Anytime you see something, please pop it up.
I just wanted to
Because I'm
mention
looking
it.
across the room at it, or I've got my head down at my phone, and I hate having my head down at the phone.
She says she feels awkward asking the angels for help because of all the miracles that she's been blessed with. This is
No,
their joy. The more
their
that they
joy.
can
Yeah.
help us.
And
Mhm.
don't forget, you deserve everything that you ask for.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
you do.
Okay? It's not like you're not good enough. You are good enough. You deserve
And
it all.
and we know that you will turn around and bless tenfold, right? You'll bless so many more people. And when you ask for this, you know that this carries responsibility for you to pay it forward to others. And we know that you can do that. And I love your new channel, Warrior Girl. I want to come. I want to come and be on your channel. I
Woohoo!
also,
You can hear that, Warrior Girl. She wants to come be on your channel. So do we. We want to be on your channel too, love.
Waiting for an invite.
let's all go over there.
Just waiting for an invite. Oh, that's
We'll
brilliant.
have a party. Let's have a party. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun.
Okay.
So I also
let's
see
grab.
Samantha.
Okay, and then Jan's free. Well, I'll just star her. Okay.
Samantha says, "Why do we forget them? It was when I had become more awakened I started to remember. Why do we forget seeing them?" And then now she remembers. It's almost like there's a vibration. There's like there we have like blinders on when we're in 3D and in the ego. We don't have the belief. We don't have the belief. But once we awaken and we open up, and then we realize that
Then
vibration that
remember.
we're familiar with, we remember the vibration of that
That's
person.
right.
Yeah.
But the reason, I'm sorry, go ahead.
There are so many things that happened with me growing up, but I just took everything in stride and thought, okay, that's okay. And never thought about it until after I really got into this. Oh, is that what that was? And all of a sudden remember. So you're not the only one. Okay. We're all that way.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
think we forget what we know because that's in our contracts to forget. Our experience here on the planet wouldn't be much if we already knew everything. The whole point is to
To learn.
experience and learn things that we don't know already. And you can't do that if you know everything. So you have to go into
That's why you forget it.
forgetfulness so
Mhm.
that you can.
It's part of the learning process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think that that's changing. I think the children that are being born now,
They know.
their forgetfulness is very shallow and they come awake very fast if they're not already born awake now.
They do and see so much more than we did. but the reaction to it is just like it was for us. So it's very difficult on them.
Wow. So, which one for Jan's Free, the angel guides want us to ask? Is it that one or is
Yes.
it the
Yeah,
doggy
that's the
one?
one.
Okay.
I
So
don't even know the other one.
she wants to know if she says she thinks her dog is a hybrid angel, and I think Sterling says that all of our pets come from the angelic
They do.
realm.
They do.
Mhm.
All of our pets are from the angelic realm.
They're
Mhm.
there to help us.
Mhm. So I'm sure he is.
Yeah, to me, they do want you to ask, but like if it's life threatening, or maybe I did ask. I wish somebody would help me with these things, and that's why he came down and we had the
Come lay
conversation.
down.
I mean, so many things happen in the day that you may have said something to that effect, and they start working if you ask for it, and I evidently did.
Well, aren't our guardian angels here to help us in situations we don't necessarily have to ask for it, like in emergency situations? But
Yeah,
on
life threatening. You had nothing to do with. I can see them just
stepping in, if it
because you
wasn't
had
your
things to
time
do
go.
yet.
Yeah, if it wasn't your exit point, then they're making sure you stay here. And I figure
Mhm.
that's what happened with the car wreck. It wasn't my exit point. It was like, you don't get away from here that easy.
And
Keep going.
I think that's the same for me of being late. For me, it was being late, but seeing the effects, it wasn't. I wasn't supposed to be there. That was so they were making sure I wasn't.
But yeah, just remember, they want us to ask. We have to ask. If you want help, you need to ask for help. And we're all raised not to ask anybody for anything. It's rude. It's intrusive. Don't ask. Don't ask. But that's what they want, and it is their joy. They want to help us. So
Yeah,
ask
they're
away.
Yeah.
Ask
they
away.
can't interfere unless we invite them. So we have it. That's part of the asking. It
Mhm.
allows them to come in and assist. I thought that was really nice, really nice. So there was another incident that I had with my aunt. She was convalescent at home, and she was had severe dementia, and she would, be in her bed 24 hours a day, and she was not able to speak, and she barely like had eye contact with you, and she was towards the end of her life, and just trying to make her as comfortable as possible. And she was in a home, and I would go and visit with her. My uncle asked me to help out and said, I can't come up there every day. Would you mind going and taking care of Auntie and so that I can have a day off? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I go over, and the nursing home has her in a wheelchair. So I take her wheelchair and I say hi to her and talk to her and stuff. And she just sits there and looks at me. I don't even know if she can hear me or anything.
Mhm.
So I wheel her over to this little area where we can look outside and see the squirrels on the trees and stuff. So I sit down beside her and I'm looking at her and I'm like talking to her about the trees. And all of a sudden I hear her tell me how beautiful that tablecloth is. And I said, I was looking around. I'm like, what did you just say? I could she it blew my mind, and I could feel like there was like something going on here. Something just happened. I don't know what happened, and I was by myself and I was just with her. And I said it to her verbally. I said, "Did you just say that?" I'm like, "I just heard you say that." And she didn't like come out of it and say it. She was just this way. I think it was like because I gave the energy of conversing with her and talking about the trees and the squirrels and didn't treat her, didn't like sit there on my phone or,
Right, right,
I was actually engaging with her. And
right.
it's her energy and her spirit that I now know that that's what I heard, but it was very startling, and it took me a week. I was walking around thinking, did that really just happen? So
Yeah, I can understand that.
yeah. So that was another kind of experience, like
That's wild.
yeah, yeah.
That is truly wild.
So Juno says that little dip under your nose and above your upper lip is called whatever. What is it? Philtrum? Legends say that this is where an angel placed their finger right before we were born to say shh.
So we'd forget everything. Ugh,
That is the sweetest,
that's a
Juno. That
great
is
story. I love that. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. Okay, Warriors Girl's got a comment too.
I learned it's from our guardian angel giving us a kiss, pucking up our lips simultaneously, inserting our spirit and dropping the veil of forgetfulness when we are born. Wow.
Cool.
There's more to it. It must be folklore. It
There-
must be, yeah.
There's something to that.
Yeah.
Wow. I know there are so many facts confirming this stuff, and yet they tell us don't listen to all the facts. Just just believe us, they say.
Believe
When there's
us. You know nothing
Mhm.
out there.
And there's nothing. You have to remember that all the fables and all the fairy tales and all of those things, they're based on truth somewhere.
Yeah,
It's not just coming from somebody's head.
I agree.
absolutely.
Wholeheartedly. I think you watched The Troll last night. Have you seen the new Troll movie?
Yeah, but I
Is it a
always
movie?
believe that anyway. Yeah, it is a movie.
It,
It's
good.
It's good.
It's really good.
Yeah, and it sticks up for all the old legends.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that would be fun to watch.
Was
it
fun to
Wow.
would.
watch.
Yeah, but I
Wow.
still believe in it anyway.
And our new favorite is Wednesday. Have you watched Wednesday yet? If you liked the Addams Family,
Yeah.
knocks it out of the park. This girl is so good that plays Wednesday. It's terrific. It's a series. It just came out this year on
So
Netflix.
I was going to say, which platform do you
Netflix.
have? Because that's the one we don't have.
It's a
we have
dark
we have
comedy that
HBO,
says,
we have Amazon Prime, we have all those other ones, but we don't have Netflix.
oh, that's too
Just-
bad.
I
You can't keep up with all of them.
I
Yeah.
Every
know.
time I turn on the
Yeah.
TV, it's like, you need to subscribe to this. And I'm like, I thought I already had that. What do you mean?
Yeah, so that's what I have before I go on to the photos. So do you want to?
Do you have
Talk
another?
about it.
Why don't you?
I wanted you to talk about what? The ghosties.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's go to the ghosties.
Okay.
Because you both have seen ghosts. I've never seen a ghost.
Oh,
Okay.
you sure? I thought you saw David.
I
once.
see things out of the side of my
And
eye,
that's the
but
way you see them.
but I don't really see any form. It's just a flash.
You've seen something.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, tell us about this one. This is amazing.
This is really, really neat. I did get this from Facebook, but I took a shot of it because it was a very, very, it was just astounding. So
It
this says the person that took the photo just lost a beloved horse and went out to take a photo of their other horse, and this is what they got. So here is their other horse down here, and this is the image that came out of the photo. Can you imagine? That is clearly a horse. Do you all see that? They're still on Netflix.
It's
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
No
You
readings. No readings today, guys. We're not doing
Yeah.
readings today. Sorry.
There's so much to do.
Yeah, just questions about like if angels or questions about what we're talking about is what the
Yes,
reason we
please.
put that. Yeah.
Things that have happened to us, and where we
Right.
know they've intervened
Yeah.
under.
Yeah. Psychic
Right.
experience, spiritual experiences
Mhm.
that any of you have had. That's what we're talking about.
So, yeah. So that was amazing, and I did have a ghost in my house that I actually did see. I'm going to be doing a whole series of videos on it, so I'll spare you the details. But it was very similar to this particular
In this
photograph.
house you live in, or is this your house you grew up in?
It was the house that I bought after when I was single. Yeah,
And
by
like
myself.
Yikes.
we were talking before the show about how we see the ghosts, and I sometimes see a shadow, but I know the vibrations. That's how I know it's David. Is because although I don't necessarily see him, except like when I was having the stitches put in my head, I actually saw his hand on top of her hand holding mine. And
She was in ER getting stitches in her head.
Oh my.
So she was laying there, and they were giving her stitches, and I was holding her hand
because I was beginning to get antsy about it, and I knew it. The shock was beginning to really
kick in.
And she put her hand on mine, and when I opened my eyes to look, I saw his hand on top of hers on mine too. So, you know, I actually saw the hand. And usually when I'm with somebody and they mention somebody, or I happen to see somebody over their shoulder, I usually see that person in color, in the clothes that they would normally wear, so that I can describe them if I can remember long enough to.
Do they look solid?
Yeah.
Like you?
Well, they're kind of faded in and out,
okay,
but they are in color. Whereas most pictures you see are black and white, and I do see them in black and white, but most of the times I see a dark shadow, and I know who it is. But otherwise, I see them in color, and it was like when you were talking about your dad. I saw him in that coat, and I started describing the coat. You said he had a coat like that. So, you know, that's how I see them, but that not everybody does. A lot of people see them this way.
Wow.
I used to wake up as a kid and look at the bottom of the bed because she would wake me up. It's probably just her presence. But there was a lady who lived in the house before we did. I had lost a daughter about the same age I was at that time.
Oh.
And she would be, my mom said, she's just checking on you, making sure you're okay. Because I would wake up, see her at the foot of my bed, and says, "Oh, it's you, night," and went back to sleep. You know, she didn't bother me at all, but I saw her in her clothes, dressed, just watching me. And
wow.
I'm going, okay.
Wow.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's cool.
That is really cool. That is really cool. Wow. Yeah, there are so many different varieties of ways that we can see them. So Linda says that she doesn't see ghosts, she feels them around her. And sometimes they send her feelings and images and movies in her head. You're a psychic medium, Linda. I'm not sure if you know that.
You're
a psychic. But sometimes it's hard. Things would happen to me, and I would hear things, and I wouldn't be able to voluntarily call it in. But it's with a little training, you'd be able to call it in as well. So Samantha also says, I've seen a couple of ghosts, almost all of them more than just what I've seen.
I think she sees saying more people than her sees them.
Oh, okay.
I think almost all of them more than just me.
Yeah. One thing I have to say is, you know, I used to believe, I had people tell me, oh, you know, my grandmother's house, we used to watch the, you know, things would move in my grandmother's house, or we saw the chair move. And I'm just going to shut this off if you don't mind. There you go. And and I would say, yes, I believe you. I believe you. And yes, I believe that you saw your grandmother's chair move. And yes, but until I actually laid those eyes on that ghost in my house, I'm like, oh, like I thought I believed before, but now I really believe. So let's check this out, girls, everybody, ladies, and gentlemen. So here I have, this is a YouTube video, and it's called Full Body Apparition Caught on CCTV at Dollar General. And this was September 16th, 2022. And this is very similar. Now it does move fast. Let me see if I can move it so it slows it down. Playback speed. Let me just move it just a little bit, slow it down a little bit.
It's more interesting. Yeah. Good idea.
Just take a watch. It's really fast.
It's starting.
Look at him. Look, you can see him.
The way you can see him materialize blows my mind.
You can see his face clearly.
Clear, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then he fades out again.
Isn't that amazing? And this is what this similar to what I saw in my own home. Like it was almost like they appeared. I saw them walking and moving from one side of the room to the other side of the room, and then I saw them disappear. So let's watch it one more time. And I see there he is. See him? I think mine was a little more solid than that. It didn't go out of focus like that. Oh, Juno's like, wow, gave me chills. But you guys can find this. It's full body apparition at Dollar General. Let me see if I can
What's the name of the channel? I don't see it.
hit the hidden underbelly. I mean, I think that somebody actually posted it on Facebook, but I'll post it when I get back to the show.
Isn't
And
that amazing?
guess who's here, you girl, everybody? Terry Suzuki is here.
Hi, Terry Suzuki. How are you,
Hello.
love? Welcome.
Thanks for coming. I love it when she comes. Okay, so yeah, it was very similar to this is what I saw, but mine was a little more, and the way I describe it is the man in my house. It was, how if you're at a, a, a store and there's a glass front picture window or a glass front window to the store, and you
Mhm.
walk by the store and then you open up the door to go into the store. As you're walking by that clear glass plate, you can look at yourself and like fix your hair or fix your coat or whatever, and you can
Mhm.
see yourself in the glass, but everything is really transparent, but you can see the color.
Mhm.
You can see as much as you can see yourself in glass is what I saw of this man. And
Right.
it was just it was phenomenal. It was amazing. And you think that you've seen a ghost before. I mean, you think that you believe in ghosts, but until you actually lay eyes on one,
I
it's
believe you. I believe you.
And I believe my granddaughter sees them too. She
Yeah.
could not sleep in her room, and I was there visiting one time, and her mother mentioned something to me. So I went up to talk to him and said, "Look, this is my granddaughter. You're scaring her when you're here at night. Go back to the third floor. There's nobody up there. You can have the whole third floor. Just leave her alone." And after that, she could sleep because they were being very nice about it. So you can ask them to leave. I said, you'd be better off someplace else. But if you need to stay in this house, upstairs.
I guess you
absolutely.
told them.
I said, I didn't want to mess any with her.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
So
I asked them to leave, and they did. Leave her alone. So that's good.
very nice. I did just pop in the YouTube link. I hope it works for everybody. I just took the link from what I was showing you there, but it is on YouTube. And there's a lot of different things on YouTube, and sometimes I see them, and I say that that's not quite what I saw, or but that horse thing. Let's that
Okay.
horse thing
I
was
need to show
really
you this.
just really made a difference.
Sorry.
And I wanted Terry to see it. I'm not sure if you were here, Terry. She was taking a picture of this horse, and she had lost her other horse recently. And I can't make it any bigger, I don't think. But this is the horse right here that she was taking a picture of. And this is the ghost horse that showed up on the film after she took the picture. That is just amazing. And look at how much energy is there.
I know.
And
It's
you can
just
Yeah.
see him
the
breathing.
movement in it is incredible.
Right, right. That's what I mean.
Yeah, the
And
energy of it is whoa,
I
phenomenal.
remember we were out to dinner with a friend. His name is Jeffrey, and he took a picture of it. Somebody took a picture of her and Jeffrey, and then when they got the picture back, there was a bright light, and I said, "Well, that's David." I hadn't thought about it, but yes,
Yeah, there was no light in the restaurant, but there was this beam of light showing between me and my friend, and who David adored, and he adored David. And I
it's
had
like
that
he was a
picture.
third in the picture.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
it was really cool. I was like, wait a minute, there's no light there. I know where this is taken, and there is no light in that restaurant there.
Yeah. And it's really, I
And
mean,
it was a random picture.
we know all of these things exist. We know all of these things are possible.
Mhm.
And we are asked by our guides, our angels, and our loved ones to have this belief, to have this trust. But when you have these things that are in our everyday life that are tangible, that are able to be caught on camera, caught on
Exactly.
film, and you hear your loved one that hasn't spoken a word in months to say something to you, you're like, what? These things just reinforce our belief, reinforce our trust,
Absolutely they
and
do.
reinforce the magical experience of this. What did she say, Lisa?
Absolutely.
That is
This
all
is
you.
all you have to do to ask them to stop, and they do. My
Mhm.
husband's seen them every night before he passed. I just said, please, he needs some sleep. Leave him alone so he can sleep. And they did.
Wow, Lisa.
Lisa, I experienced that when David passed. We were in the hospital and he started seeing all kinds of different people that had passed. And it freaked me out because I realized right then he was on his way out. That was
Oh,
it. But it freaked me. I didn't ask him to leave. I felt like they were comforting him, so I didn't ask him to leave. But he was a psychic medium, so they didn't freak him out, really. It was just freaking me
Guess
out
who I
because
saw the other night? That's what he would
yeah,
say.
oh yeah. It was frightening.
did he really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. As Samantha says, I had one I had to ask to leave. She was waking more kids up, shaking their beds and playing with their toys. She listened and left them alone. Aw, that's
Yeah.
nice. We
Wow.
appreciated that.
And it's so important for each one of us. Each one of us has an experience to share. And the more times that we share this with each other, it becomes less, taboo and more
Scary.
normal, more everyday. It
And
is
less
part of
awe
our.
inspiring.
Yes, that's awe inspiring.
Oh, what a freaky thing. No, it's a normal thing.
Exactly normal. That's
Well,
exactly what I was looking for.
I have to
Wow.
say, it all has to do with religion that bans you thinking for yourself and believing in what you do as a person. It all has to do with us bringing our power back to ourselves and going within and finding who we are, because that's all that matters. It doesn't matter who anybody else is out there, whatever else they're doing. It's who you are. We're all here for purpose,
It's
especially this time of man.
Yeah, and it's like yesterday when we were talking about spirituality and old age, it's different for every single person because every single person has different backgrounds, different upbringings. There's none of us who think exactly the same. We group together because we're similar, but we're not exactly the same, and we never will be.
Yeah.
I don't
Wow.
know, Juno. My husband did it.
What's that?
He didn't come back as a ghost, but he interacts with me 24/7. And I'm
Yeah,
so grateful and thankful. And I tell you, if you believe that they can come back to see you when they pass over, they do. Obviously, my husband's been with me since the day he died. Who knew? I had no idea it could happen till it did.
if you love somebody, you'll make sure they know you are with them.
And this one from Starfish. Starfish, we're so sorry to hear of this. Your husband's getting ready to transition and is
Oh,
talking in his sleep. I can't make a word out, though. Some of it sounds fear based. Just surround him in unconditional love. And all of
And
us in the chat, let's send her sweet husband unconditional love, unity consciousness,
And
and
don't feel
easy
afraid to talk
passing.
to him and correct him and say, no, this is the way it is.
Tell him the truth from your heart,
Right.
Starfish. Let him know there's nothing to fear.
Because even though he doesn't seem to hear, he will.
They absolutely
He'll
do
hear the
hear.
love in your voice. He will.
that's
Agreed.
sweet. Also sorry that you're going through that, Starfish.
It's
Wow.
very hard.
Well, I do have one last photo that is a little bit different of an experience that we think that some of you
I
may
love
have
it.
had. And these are orbs. And this happens to be a photo of my nieces that I've protected the identity of. So that's why there's a big a rectangle there. But right here is an orb. This is an actual orb. This is not, this is a mirror, a clear mirror. And I can zoom in here a little bit so you guys can see it.
Yeah, move
And
it around.
yeah,
Oh yeah, you need to
there's
move that picture around. There are orbs
there's
everywhere.
an orb right here, and there's an orb right here, and there's an orb right here, and they are there's a couple, one up here, and I think and there's one over here now that I see, but this is an older home, and it is we believe that it is my niece's grandmother, and this woman is a portrait of her on the other side of
Oh,
the wall,
interesting.
that the mirror is capturing the picture that that's on the wall.
Wow.
And this is the woman, this is her grandmother that passed, and this is who we believe this is. We don't know for sure, but and this was one of the
Yes.
things that
I
just
can.
I was really very amazed, and I think is
And
when
up in the plant.
Oh,
pot.
there's one in the plant box too.
There
Just
you
go
go.
up, and there's another one above it to your right.
Yeah.
Just right to your right from where you are.
this one.
No,
This-
down right there.
Oh
Looks like one there too.
yeah,
I'm looking at
we-
it on a huge screen, you guys.
yeah, we can really zoom in, and you could see this one, and it's amazing. This one, and there's one right here. I thought there was one around her knees, and
I did too.
it is just absolutely amazing, all the different orbs, and this is just something that got me started, got me inquisitive, and with this, I've never seen a giant orb in a photo like that bright, and that perfectly
Me either. That's enormous.
Hmm.
perfect circle, and it's just another piece of validation. I mean, we validate all day long, right? I mean, we know this, and it's important to acknowledge these things that are in our everyday 3D life. That it helps to awaken us.
All
It helps-
messages.
yeah, exactly.
We
Oh,
just have to be aware enough to recognize them.
That's right.
Aw. So
What?
Amy, can I pop up Amy's message here? She said, my husband recently died, and the other night I was sound asleep and woke up to someone touching my foot. Somehow I knew it was my husband touching me.
That's
You're-
beautiful.
You were right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was your husband.
And I found that to be the case with some of my pets. I had a dog that would wake me up on the couch and say, "Go to bed." And even after she was gone, I could feel her nose on my hands waking me up to go to bed. So, yes, I thoroughly believe that was your husband.
Oh, wow. Wow. Let me see. What does Leah say? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, she's given Starfish some advice there. But thank you very much for sharing that, Amy. Yes. And that we often discount what our first instinct is, like, oh, I think that's my husband. And then, like, as the day goes on, we'll be like, oh, I don't know. I don't, talk
Try to
ourselves out of
rationalize
it.
Yeah, and you can't. You
You
can't.
need to stay with that first gut feeling because that's when you're
And that first
right.
gut feeling needs to be written down so you don't forget.
Exactly. I'm a believer in that. After going through those journals, I'm having the best time going through them. Juno also had.
Oh, after my dad died, my mother said that she could feel him touching her on the right hip at night. Then when she was in bed, like he was letting
Still
her
there.
know he was still there, like had his hand on her after. Yeah. Wow.
Wow, that's beautiful.
They do. And especially when we get quiet, when we get still, and, we do our usual routine, and we're not, not otherwise engaged or,
Yeah.
occupied.
In our
And
head.
a lot of times when I get quiet and still, I hear music. It may only be a small passage or like one or two measures, but it repeats over and over and over in my head until I sit down and write it out. but I I noticed even the other night it started again. I could hear
It's been a
like
while.
2 measures of a melody, and until I sat there and wrote it down, and when I would forget, I go, "Play it again, I don't have the right pitch yet," because I would find the right pitch on my piano, so I would know where it was supposed to be.
The interesting thing about this music that she's talking about is that the entities that I channeled, she would get the music for it.
So I knew who it
was their
was.
signature.
Wow.
I even have in one
Can
of
you
my
believe
books
that?
when there was one particular one that was with us, and he was with us for a long time. But I have a regular book of blank music paper that you write in, and I have about 4 pages of this one song that keeps changing. Both it's on both both staffs of the music, so that it's both all the way through, and it changes. Like it may change part of the melody, it may change how the accompaniment with it, but it's like
Multi-layered.
multi-layered, and I could
Wow.
hear the thirds and the fifths and the different. I could hear them and have to write them down. So, but it's about 4 pages long.
That's amazing. And this is how we communicate. We're all frequency, right? And music is frequency. Music is math. This is all the Nikola Tesla,
Yeah.
and Nostradamus, and who's the sleeping prophet? Um, oh shoot, the guy in Virginia, Edgar Casey.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything's vibration.
And
Right.
now Heather and Priscilla. That's amazing. These are channeling this music from the ETs, from their guides, and Priscilla is channeling the information, and Heather is channeling, is recording the music, and this is their signature. This is their energy. This is how they share the information. I bet you that will be transcribed one day,
Someday.
not just to music, but to information.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Everything is information that's hitting the planet. It's all
Right.
energy,
it's,
light, and information.
And it's all coming in. The sun is sending so much.
Yeah. Oh, that's another show.
That's another show.
Oh, they just gave us a little teaser, you guys. Are we going to let them get away with it?
We are just after 4:00. It has been wonderful as usual, Miss Jean. Thank you so much for being here. And you guys in the chat room, we love you so much and appreciate you guys so very much. We love your input and appreciate that as well.
Thank you for going and doing those comments. It makes things so much more fun when we can talk back and forth.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
We really enjoy the interaction with the chat. So
yeah,
keep doing it.
Right.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. And thank you for letting me share my experiences and my pictures. And just, it brings us all together in one common experience that we've all had something like this, some sort of metaphysical experience at some point in our lives, whether it's an angel, whether it's a ghost, whether it's a music thing that we've heard and things like this. It's just really.
And sometimes you don't get it till years later and go, oh my God.
Is that what that was? We don't know.
And that's okay.
Yeah. You get it sometime.
You get it when you need to.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much, Jean. And what are you doing?
Thank you, Jean.
When's your next show, real quick, before you disappear? Let everybody know. What's our Tuesday show?
Oh, I think reality versus existence.
Existence versus reality.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Saturday the 10th, I have Lady Soul and Kikaru Spiritual Journeys coming. We're going to do readings live on Saturday the 10th of...
The three of you.
Yeah, I know.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
I know. Anything can happen, you guys.
Be sure you go to Jean's channel and subscribe and check notify, because that'll be a treat.
And if you enjoyed this, please give it a check and say you liked it. Subscribe.
Yes,
Even
please.
share it if you want.
Make sure everybody hits the thumbs up on the way out, and share this video with somebody that you think might like to see orbs or ghosts or stories about angels and things like this. I
Right.
think it's
Mhm.
a good introduction for a lot of people. And on next Sunday, I'll be at the Pathways Natural Living Expo is what they call it,
Oh,
and
fun.
I'll be
cool.
exhibiting next Sunday, the 11th. So I'll have lots of stories.
So you're going to be doing readings there?
Yes, I'll be doing readings, and I'm
Oh,
also,
fun,
because
fun.
Terry Suzuki is so brave and has been an example for me. She's read rooms a couple of times, and this time is when I'm going to be doing my reading of a room for the first time.
Wow.
Cool.
Congratulations. You'll be fantastic.
You'll be great.
You will. You'll be
Thank you.
fantastic. I wish I could be there to root you on. But
I'm going to ask my husband if he can film it. And Terry Suzuki, she tells me all of the do's and don'ts, and she's my example, and I'm so grateful that she
she's such
shares
a
all
wealth
of
of
it.
information and support.
Yes.
She is. So thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks for having me, ladies. I really enjoyed myself with you both.
Us
And
too.
it was an interesting conversation that we had today. It
Well,
was
it's
really a
fun.
lot of fun.
Yes,
Was fun.
it was.
We love you guys. Go out
Thank
and
you.
shine your light, and we'll see
Spread
you
the
next
joy.
show. And namaste.
Bye, everybody.